Hi, this is Chris Chapman. Here's my VLOG1 skills versus capacity in the weight room. I'm going to look at two exercises, back squat and bench press, looking at three subjects numbered 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to look at a skill issue and a capacity issue. I'm going to do this for analysis, screening, assessment and use of corrective exercises. Definition of a skill is perception of the correct movement strategy is not being achieved. Movement is in the learning process. Definition of a capacity is restriction to the structure causing the biomechanics of the athlete to have a restricted movement strategy. Reviews of finding in the back squat, subject 1 demonstrates a capacity issue with the glute and posterior capsule not lengthening on the left hand side, which restricts movement and reduces the depth of the squat. It also causes a hip shift to the left hand side, causing imbalance with coordination of the hips. Athlete constraint is mobility. There's also adjustment of the centre of mass when in the eccentric phase of the squat, and also adjustment of the torso again in the eccentric part of the squat. Subject 2 is a skill issue. The hand setup, one hand is wider than the other. Initially this could indicate a lack of pectoral flexibility, but this has been eliminated in previous tests on the athlete. The subject head is down. This will cause curvature of the spine and will cause a change in the centre of mass. Subject 1, capacity issue. Video of the squat on the side view. Initially the head is up, the chest is high and the back is engaged. The restriction comes when the athlete is trying to reach parallel and the left hip. We're looking at the posterior capsule and also a glute lengthening. We also can see that there is a lack of stability and strength in the left leg as the more repetitions are performed. And further in this video we can see that the left hand side of the bar is moving over the toes of the left foot, therefore the centre of mass is changing, and there's also adjustment in the torso area on this athlete. Also highlighting on the video is we can see that it's a slight rotational force on the left hand side compared to the right hand side of this athlete. Now comparing this to subject 2, which is a skill issue, we can actually see the setup for this athlete. The right hand is wider than the left hand, and we want to rectify this because this is going to cause some balance issues for this athlete. Also looking at posterior view for subject 1, we can actually see on this view that the hip shift on the left hand side on the second repetition more predominant. And also through the repetitions we can see the lack of control in the left leg. So we've got the hip shift to the left, which is the gluteus maximus not lengthening and the posterior capsule focus. We've also got the bar is tilting to the left hand side, which again, as we discussed earlier, that's the centre of mass. And then also we've got a lack of strength in the left hand side due to the instability. Looking at subject 2, which is a skill issue, we can immediately see that the left hand is wider than the right hand. The head is down, and in this video this causes the athlete actually to lose balance. And again, we want to rectify these points before the athlete produces a squat. Further assessment is also done, looking at the movement and the function of the muscles. Assessment and corrective exercises for subject 1. We performed a unilateral single leg squat, with the right leg performing 22 repetitions before failure and the left leg performing 6 repetitions before failure. In the left leg we can see an aggressive torso lean to the left hand side, and in the concentric part the athlete struggles hard to get back up into a standing position, therefore indicating a lack of stability and strength. Compare this to the right hand side. Initially there's a lean to the right, but this does rectify the more repetitions the athlete produces. But what we can see is the right leg is more stable, there's less lean in the torso, producing more strength and stability. From there we did a unilateral cook hip lift, where the athlete placed the ball in the opposite hip to the leg working. As we can see in the right leg, there's more adjustment, keeping the ball in the hip. This indicates that there's a lack of firing in the glute of the left hip. And we also can see the left hamstring is firing more, which was confirmed by the athlete. Compare this to the right leg. The athlete doesn't have to adjust the left hip, so keeping the ball in there nice. The movement is smoother, the hamstring is not firing up as much, and it's the glute that's working, which was also confirmed by the athlete. We're also going to give breathing exercises for this athlete and also some flexibility exercises for the gluteus maximus. So just to confirm, the athlete will complete single leg squats, increase gluteus maximus flexibility, complete glute bridges with a band to improve motor control, and we're also going to deload this athlete until movement strategies improve. Looking at athlete 2 or subject 2, initially we picked up on the head position, so what we've told the athlete to do his eyes up on the horizon, so lifting the head. We also told the athlete to focus on a point and stick with this throughout the lift. We also identified the difference in hand width. So the athlete is going to use a thumb width apart, starting from the smooth part of the bar to the grip, which is identified in this video here, or picture. And this then also improves the squat, which we can see good width from the hands, both equal, head is up, and we've also told the athlete to pull the bar onto the traps. So we're just going to reinforce the coaching points for this athlete. Review of findings on the bench press. Subject 3 demonstrates a capacity issue with the bar positioned in a downward slant towards the left arm. It does indicate an imbalance, and it is further noticeable in the concentric part of the lift, where the right arm is extending quicker than the left, and this is causing rotational forces. Also, we're challenging the athlete as we're performing the bench with feet up, and this is causing balance issues for this athlete. Subject 1, skill issues. Hand setup could be a little narrower, it's quite wide, therefore it's flaring the elbows out. The athlete also suffers from a slight lordotic posture, so does benefit from feet up bench, but is lacking core stability and bracing, and this could be due to the fast tempo of the bench. So subject 3, we can initially see the slant on the left hand side. Just to note, as a club we do perform the bench with feet up, as it limits lower back problems for the athletes and allows the players to develop further core stability. On that note, we can also see that the right knee is flaring out, which is the instability of the core. And then also we can see the right hand extending quicker than the left. So we're going to focus on left hand or left arm strength, and we're also going to focus on some core stability for this athlete. Subject 1 is skill. As we can see, initially quite a wide grip, elbows will flare out, the tempo is really fast, and the athlete is lacking core stability. The bar is also moving up and down. Also, further assessment was done, so we assessed the movement and the function of the muscles. Assessment and corrective exercises for subject 3. We looked at scapular movement. Athlete performed a press up for us. The right scapula is more pronounced than the left, but after further analysis on this movement, the scapulas do move in an effective way. But we also can see the athlete is moving to the left hand side, which does indicate that lack of strength in that left hand side, which we're going to perform movements to improve that. We also did an inverted row for this athlete, just again to check scapular movement, but the athlete is quite competent in that movement. We then progressed on to a single arm press on the left hand side. The athlete's feet are in the floor, so this is gaining core stability. There's slight flexion in the left wrist, and there's also a little bit of instability, which indicates the lack of strength. We're also going to perform a tape press, which is going to improve tricep development and also rear delt strength. And we're also going to perform a get up for this athlete to improve core stability. So the athlete's prescription is a single arm floor press for unilateral strength, a tape press for triceps and rear delt strength, and get ups to improve core stability. For the next athlete, we're going to look at the adjustments in terms of coaching cues. So we're going to adjust the hand width. We're also going to promote that the elbows need to be tucked in more. The bar journey, instead of up and down, we want to go to lower chest and then back towards the rack. We're going to improve core stability with a slower tempo. So what we've done there with the athlete, the bar is moving from lower chest in a diagonal position, got more core stability, shorter hand width, and therefore the athlete is performing a much neater bench. And for this athlete, we're just going to reinforce the coaching points in the forthcoming week. So just to summarise, the back squat capacity issues, we're going to create strength in the left leg by completing unilateral work over bilateral. We're going to increase core stability and bracing the core more effectively within the lift. And we're going to increase flexibility within the gluteus area in the posterior capsule. Skill issues, the athlete did rectify in the video, but also we're going to refocus on the technique. So eyes on the horizon, keeping the head up through the lift. Hands using a thumb width grip on the bar and pulling the bar down to create a shelf. In terms of the bench press capacity issue, we're going to create unilateral strength in the left arm, increase core stability, increase strength and motor control in the triceps and rear delts. The skill issue, we're going to perform a narrower grip on the bar. We're going to promote elbows closer to the body. We're going to slow the pace of the lift down, keeping it more controlled. And we're going to create improvements in bracing and movement of the bar. Thank you for listening.